bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you. I ask that everyone now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, arms. Ready, cut. Blackbirds ready, step. Ready. Ready. Counter column, march.
Thank you. Everyone, please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Captain Ray Gordon, Commander of the Training Division, and I'm your host for today's ceremony. I'd like to say welcome to everybody to the graduation of Class 124 today. On behalf of Chief Michael Gonzalo, the officials, officers, and members of the Metro Transit Police Department, I welcome you to this graduation ceremony. As we begin today, I would like to introduce our seated attendees. We have our WMATA General Manager, Mr. Randy Clark, our guest speaker, Brian Cedar, retired Captain, Maryland State Police, our Chief of Police, Michael Gonzalo, our Fraternal Order of Police Chairman, Colin Doherty, our Assistant Chief of the Metro Transit Police Department, George Nader, our Deputy Chief, Stephen Bohm of the Patrol Operations Bureau, Deputy Chief Daniel Alvarez, Commander of the Homeland Security, Intelligence, and Investigations Bureau, Ms. Shonda Luis, Director of our Community Service Bureau, Mr. Tom McGuire, Director of Security and Infrastructure Protection, and Mr. Denton Rohr, Office of Emergency Management and Liaison for the Metro Transit Police Department. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce our Chief of Police and let him come up and, give you guys a few words.
Hey, good morning, everybody. So this is a great occasion for us. We're getting 18 police officers to go out and fill our ranks. So we're definitely excited about that. So welcome everybody to our recruit graduation. I want to congratulate all the officers. They completed 39 weeks of training, and they're getting ready to go into a field training officer program tonight, right? No, the start of the week, but that's an additional 12 weeks. So from the time of hire to the time they're ready to go out, patrol by themselves, it's 1 year. It's one of the longest police academies in the country. So that's a great accomplishment. I want to thank Director Leon, Captain Gordon, the Academy staff for getting them through this 39 weeks. It's a Herculean effort, not only in training, but scheduling and everything else. So I definitely appreciate that. And then Ms. Lewis, Ms. Ray, Ms. Demisi for helping put this on today. So much appreciated. Our first speaker will be our General Manager, Mr. Clark. Mr. Dwyer, our Chief Operating Officer, he couldn't be here with us today, but both are staunch supporters of the MTPD. I can't tell you enough. A lot of people don't realize the behind-the-scenes things that goes on with Mr. Clark and Mr. Dwyer, but they are constantly trying to improve Metro. And a big part of it is safety on the Metro system, whether it be bus or rail. And that's what these officers are going to be responsible for. But, you know, he's definitely turned the corner. He supports us in many ways, not only, you know, budget-wise, which, you know, for a police chief, that's one of the important things, but it's also out there in the public. You know, he definitely supports the police. He supports a safe system. He wants everybody to ride our system, you know, free of crime and disorder, and that's what we're working towards. He's taken a lot of political hits in the few months that he's been here, but he's definitely, you know, giving it back too. So I definitely appreciate that. Mr. Clark joined Metropolitan Washington Area Transit Authority as General Manager July 22. He's not just Metro's GM or CEO, he's also a customer. And yes, you will see him out on the system quite frequently. Well, not quite frequently, a couple of times a day. So he's definitely rides the trains and buses. Before joining Metro, Mr. Clark served more than 4 years as President and CEO of Capital Metro in Austin, Texas, where he helped secure one of the country's largest voter-approved transit referendums in U.S. history. The initiative, called Project Connect, resulted in a multi-billion-dollar infusion for Cap Metro's capital program. Prior to his work in Austin, Mr. Clark held several key leadership positions in public transportation around the country. Served Vice President of Operation, Member Services for American Public Transportation Association, APTA, in Washington, D.C. He also spent a number of years in various positions with the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority in Boston, including Deputy Chief Operating Officer and Assistant General Manager of Engineering, Maintenance, and Preparedness, and Senior Director of Security. So yes, he does know what we do. So he's got a lot of experience in that, you know. He's originally from Nova Scotia, Canada. He holds a bachelor's degree in political science and history from Acadia University and a master's degree in public policy from the University of Southern Maine. Lives here in Washington, D.C. with his wife. So, Mr. Clark.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, everyone. There we go, right? It's a big day. Good morning. Yeah, this is great. We got to shorten that thing up, Chief. That's too long. So, just like everyone else, I went to school and I had previous jobs. But really an honor to be the Metro GM and an honor to be with you all today. First off, we always have the process, right, with the honor guard, and no one ever claps, right, because we're very serious with the process. But I think we should give it up for our honor guard that is doing so well at these ceremonies all the time. And I'm always impressed by Sergeant Rodas's pipes. It always shocks me every time he starts because he's so good at it. And I'm out there the other day at a station and he's doing fare enforcement, giving out citations, and the next minute he could be at the Nats opening day doing the national anthem. So we're lucky to have him. Want to say congratulations to all our newest officers. Welcome to Metro. It's a great family. We're very happy you're here, but more importantly, you chose to be here. We don't want you to come here for a job. We want you to come here for a career. We want you to be Metro officers, and whether you decide an officer or different positions within MTPD, we want you to be part of this family, and it is a family. When you get here, you're going to realize how deep this family is, not just in the police department. The police department is part of a bigger organization. We have 12,000 plus Metro members in this family, and you're going to be out there interacting daily with custodians and bus operators and station managers and elevator escalator technicians, and you name it. One big family, and we all kind of come together. And so really welcome. I want to thank our great training team. Thank you for all you do, our command staff. We have so many people. We have a lot of our captains. I mean, you are doing a great job every day. So thank you for all hard work you've done to make this class be here with us today. The biggest thank you I probably have in the room is thank you to the families. Thank you for joining us today for this special event. But thank you for letting your loved ones be part of our family. Because starting today, well, actually, you've been doing this for a while now because of the training program or in the cadet class, but they are going to have a lot of different types of days, and they're going to need you to be part of that process, the understanding and the support, right? You all know and some members have family members that are already in the law enforcement or police or public safety service. So these are a dedicated process here. You know, there's going to be, when most people have days off, we come to work, right? When inauguration's happening, we're here. When it's July 4th, we're here. When in the middle of the night something bad happens, we're here. And so your understanding, your patience, your empathy, your collaboration and teamwork at home is super important for them to be successful here. For the cadets, and now going to be our officers, you have to also take that responsibility and know when you go home to try to disconnect as best you can so your family doesn't get dragged into what we do every day, which some days could be intense. Now, I'm horrible at that, and if my wife was here, she would acknowledge that I'm really bad at that, but that is an important thing, right? This balance of life, and especially we will have days where there could be some negative things. And so understanding what an officer may go through is really important. So, you know, thank you for being here, and thank you for being part of this larger Metro family, because we want you part of here as well. I want to thank our special speaker, Mr. Cedar, for being here. Thank you so much. And, you know, for a little fun, because I got to take the opportunity because I know you would. So what an amazing moment to have your son, one of our officers, be part of this. So we were talking as we walked in. So Officer Cedar comes in and he doesn't see his dad. And I said, is he going to look over? And he finally made eye contact. He's like this, right? So what a special moment to have our honorary speaker have their son as part of this class. So thank you for being with us here today. You know, as the chief said, I certainly was never in law enforcement, but I do have a pretty big background in security emergency management. And I ran security emergency management in Boston at the MBTA when we had the bombings. And we had an officer almost die that day. He actually got brought back to life multiple times. So I basically interacted with police staff almost every single day for years. So I know the special work that you all do, very appreciative of law enforcement. In society today, this is a challenging occupation that you've signed up for. You're gonna have days where it's this in your face all day long. I don't understand why people do that, because you're gonna have a body camera. We have cameras everywhere, so I'm not sure what angle this is gonna give someone. But you know, you're gonna have to take that pressure on a daily basis. Meanwhile, you're gonna go in and save somebody one day, or you're gonna prevent something bad from happening. And so, you know, rising above some types of negativity some days and vitriol that's in our society is really important. I want you to know, as long as I have this opportunity to be your general manager, I will have your back. I will have this police department's back. You do honorable, good work. If we have an officer not doing a good job or doing something wrong, the expectation is you acknowledge that and deal with it. And if we all do that together, we are gonna have the top ethical department doing the right thing for our community, and we will have each other's back. And the chief said, I am out on the system every day. And the chief was being kind, because that means I call the chief almost every day. And mostly it's because it's complimenting and saying great things, because we have so many good officers doing good work out there. But I promise you, you will see me out on the system, at a station, on a train, on a bus. Hopefully we're all, you know, it's very interactive. I've been out with a bike patrol. I've been at roll calls. I've been out with some special teams. I'm going to get out there even more. We are trying to grow the ranks of this organization. Our goal is to get back to full staffing. We got a ways to go, but we're working on that. We've invested with our partners around the region. We got special police officers. We are enhancing our camera network. We've hired social workers, and we're hiring some more. You are joining an organization that is pro-safety. We have to have a safe system. People should have the right to come to work and feel safe and go home safe, and people should have the right to come on our system and go home or where they're going safely. You are a big part of that. So when every day, all I'm ever gonna ask of you, it's the same thing when we have a bus graduation here last week. If you come in and give it an honest day and do the right thing, we will have your back. If you see someone not doing the right thing, doing the right thing is letting us know so that doesn't happen. That's the pretty basic relationship we're going for. The only other joke for some of the other officers in the room, please don't park in bus stops. I make that joke at every graduation we have. The captains especially know that joke because then they have to go enforce that, but please don't park at bus stops. Outside of that, we're gonna be best friends, right, Chief? So with that, again, thank you for the families for being here. Thank you and congratulations. We were really, really excited to have you here today. Chief, thank you for having me part of this ceremony. It is an honor. This is one of the better moments of being a general manager is when we get to welcome new people to this great team. So let's have a great ceremony. Congratulations again. Look forward to seeing you out in the system. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. We certainly appreciate that. So now we'll have remarks from our FOP chairman, Colin Doherty.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning, most especially to our new recruits and their families, our new officers and their families. I'll keep my remarks very, very brief. It's hard to follow Mr. Clark, as anybody here knows. I want you guys to take a moment at some point today, not necessarily right now, but at some point today, look around. Look around at each other, look at your families, look in the mirror, and remember all the hard work, all the obstacles overcome, challenges met, difficulties dealt with that you spent the last 9 months dealing with. Okay, and some of you may have spent your entire life getting to this moment right here. So take a look around today and remember, this is your day. You have more difficult days ahead of you. You've got several months of field training, and then when that's done, you actually have to come out and do this job. And it's a hard job. We're thrilled to have you all be part of our team here. But that stuff, that's for tomorrow. Today is your day. Look around, look yourself in the mirror, hold your heads high, and be proud of where you are. Thank you, and welcome aboard. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you, sir. Let's see. So now we'll have Assistant Chief Nader come up. He's going to tell us about our guest speaker.
Good morning. Just to reiterate, we've talked to the class several times, but for you, welcome to our family. Happy to have you. So when you look for a guest speaker, you look for somebody that's dynamic. You look for somebody that's proven. But most of all, you look for somebody that can give you words of wisdom to take you into the 25-year career that you're about to embark upon. And what we have is just that. We have somebody that's led by example and whose footsteps you can follow. Mr. Cedar, former United States Marine, serving 4 years active duty in the infantry unit. From there, he went to the Maryland State Police Department, where he served as a trooper. He worked as a trooper in the Southern Maryland area. He worked as a K-9 handler, and he spent many years as an undercover narcotics investigator, handling many cases throughout the state of Maryland and regionally. He also served as a task force officer. He was promoted through the ranks of the Maryland State Police Department when he reached the level of lieutenant. He had several commands within the Southern Maryland region, commanding troopers in Charles County, La Plata, St. Mary's County, and Calvert County. He then rose to the rank of captain. At the rank of captain, he worked very close with high leaders in the state. He oversaw the Criminal Investigations Division. He handled investigations that were sensitive in nature directly assigned to him by the governor. He also oversaw the Homicide Unit, Gang Enforcement Unit, Attorney General Investigative Unit, Maryland Center for Missing Children, Computer Crimes Unit, Computer Forensics Laboratory. Anything? I probably could keep going. Mr. Cedar also managed the State Police Task Force. A lot of different police departments have task force where we partner with our federal jurisdictions. So he oversaw all of those units as well. As if that wasn't enough. So why is he here? He's a man of service. He's dedicated his life to service. Marine Corps, served. Maryland State Police, served. Did 25 years with the Maryland State Police Department, and that wasn't enough. Retired, took another position within the federal government. He serves now rising through the ranks in the federal government to achieve a SES position. Now he is the Chief of the Investigative and Adjudication Division for the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So we truly appreciate a person that serves in the manner that you have for as long as you have, and that you continue to do so. And if that wasn't enough, committed to giving back. For many years, Professor Cedar also serves as an adjunct professor at several local universities, to include College of Southern Maryland, Maryland University, and GW University, where he teaches a barrage of classes in police leadership, police ethics, forensics, introduction to criminal justice, investigations. I'm sure that list goes on and on and on. But to have this experience coming to speak to you, what I would say to you is today is a day where you may be feeling some stress. So right now, what I would ask is that you take a breath and really take in and listen intently to what Mr. Cedar has to say. But his words are going to set you for your career if you listen and let it absorb. So I'll ask you just relax a minute, take that breath, and when he comes up, listen intently. So some of the programs that we go through in law enforcement, Mr. Cedar has hit all of them. Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command. He's a graduate of the University of Maryland, where he holds a bachelor's in art and criminal justice. He's a graduate of Police Executive Leadership Program at Johns Hopkins University. He holds a bachelor's degree and a Master of Science degree from Johns Hopkins University in management. So definitely a wealth of knowledge that's about to come before you. With nothing else, if I could ask you to please help me welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Cedar.
Talk about having to follow up. I get tired just listening to you read my bio. Good morning, General Manager Clark, Chief Anzalo, Deputy Chief Nader, distinguished guests, friends, and family, but most of all, Class 124 Academy graduates. Today is the day you've been working towards for the last 9 months. Congratulations on your efforts to get to this point. First, let me assure you this is not going to be a very long speech. I'm going to try and follow the advice of one of my former commanders who had 6 words printed on a nameplate on his desk. It read, "Be brief, be blunt, and be gone." I hope I'm successful in following that advice here today. That said, I'm honored to be able to speak with you this morning, and I officially welcome you to the Fraternal Order. When they asked me to speak to you today, I was resistant. I'm not a public speaker or a politician, and I was worried I wouldn't be able to deliver a message that would be impactful. So what I decided to do was speak from my heart. When you take the oath of office to protect and serve, you accept a tremendous responsibility that puts others before self. You join what is, in my opinion, the most noble profession in the world, one that most outsiders will never fully comprehend. Your journey starts today. During your careers, you'll be complimented and demonized by some, often within the same week, by the same person. You'll be challenged, threatened, criticized, and Monday morning quarterbacked on decisions you had to make in seconds, but others had weeks to contemplate. Because of the training you received, you'll be prepared to make the right decisions. I've heard about your training over the course of the last 9 months, and by all accounts, it was excellent. I offer my compliments to the Academy training staff who've been involved in your transformation from civilian to police officer in not 1, but 3 different jurisdictions and many other sub-jurisdictions. I can tell you I wouldn't have made it. I've struggled with the one state. It's this training and the training that you'll receive from your FTOs that allow you to make tough decisions with confidence and with competence. That's the foundation from which successful careers are made. You're joining a special breed of people that decide to run towards the fray, not away from it. Many people will spend their lives wondering if they made a difference. I assure you that won't be the case in your experiences. I envy you because I know what you have in front of you. You'll be interacting with the worst humanity has to offer, then 20 minutes later talking to the mother whose child is missing, or saving the life of someone who overdosed on drugs. I sat in a similar seat about 35 years ago, and I had no real appreciation for what I'd be involved in and how much of a difference I would make. During my career, I spent many years as a K-9 officer, as a criminal investigator, and as an undercover detective investigating drug organizations. I had much more hair on my head at the time. I don't think I could pull it off anymore. During that time, I arrested murderers and armed robbery suspects, saved lives by providing emergency care, and even delivered 2 babies on the side of the road. I did my best throughout my career to remember what I swore I would do when I raised my right hand. I was fortunate to be able to serve my community while making that difference I talked about earlier. It was meaningful work that separated me from most others. I wish you the same type of satisfaction during a long and distinguished career. Now, throughout my speech today, you'll hear me say, always remember several times. I say always remember as opposed to never forget for 2 reasons. The first being because my school teacher wife, who's out here in the audience, says if you want people to listen and retain, say things in a positive way. The second reason is whatever follows those 2 words is very important and can provide insight into the many lessons I've learned over the course of a long career. I'm not preaching, I'm just offering. Always remember, you have no control over the comments or dispositions of others. You only have control over your own actions and how you choose to respond. Always remember to treat citizens you interact with in a professional manner, not according to their behavior towards you, but regardless of their behavior towards you. You are the professional, and you represent something bigger than yourself. Always remember that policing is apolitical. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world around you. It only matters that you do the right thing for the right reasons, even when no one else is looking. When the world is fickle, and trust me, that's often the case, stay true to who you are and rely on training, experience, and your inner voice to help you make the right decisions. Always remember how important integrity is in everything you do. When I was a newly promoted barrack commander in Southern Maryland, I hung a sign above the trooper's door. The sign read, "If you have integrity, nothing else matters. If you don't have integrity, nothing else matters." I want that to sink in for a moment. Integrity is at the core of what a police officer represents. It's irreplaceable. When I tell people that my son is following in my footsteps and becoming a police officer, they often respond with, "Why would anyone want to become a police officer today?" My response is that we, as a society, have more of a need than ever before to have well-trained, dedicated, and motivated individuals, such as yourselves, willing to stand between good and evil and take action. The policing profession has been much maligned in recent years. Some of the reports were deserved and made us realize that changes needed to happen. But most of the statements were not representative of the vast, and I mean vast, majority of police officers who put their lives on the line and uphold the oath they took when they sat in the same seat you're sitting in today. Your job, your obligation, is to do everything in your power to show the citizens you protect that we are still a noble profession. Always remember, regardless of rank, you are a leader and you lead by example. One thing I've learned over the years is leadership is not defined by rank and title, but by what influence you have and the impression you leave behind. Don't let others define you. Never let an opportunity to do the right thing pass you by. Always remember you are a public servant. This is an important statement, so let me repeat myself. Always remember you are a public servant. This isn't a derogatory title. It's okay to serve the public. I would argue that it's an honor to be able to serve. You should embrace this. Wear it proudly for everyone to see. This means make it a priority to help others whenever you can. Be proactive in this area. Let people know that you're there to help, to serve, and to protect. You'll be working in the transportation system for our nation's capital. You'll be the face of law enforcement for hundreds of thousands of national and international visitors who come to DC each year, and for many people who work in and around DC. Show them the side of law enforcement that's not typically shown on the evening news or written about in newspapers. Be the example you want people to think of when they think of public servant. Always remember that every day you're building a personal brand, your personal and professional reputation. Your personal brand represents your department's brand. Each day you have the opportunity to build up that reputation or to tear it down. With every person you interact with, whether good or bad, every person you meet will tell at least 5 people about their interaction with you. By the end of the workday, you'll have spread your reputation to dozens of people, either positively or negatively. Some of these impressions will follow you the rest of your career. That said, sometimes you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. When that happens, learn from those mistakes and try not to make the same ones twice. The name on your shoulder says who hired you. The name on your nameplate says who raised you. Every day you go to work, represent both with honor and integrity. Starting today, you'll wear a badge signifying your authority, but also your sacrifice and your service. I don't know if you know this, but the term cop actually comes from the copper badge the first police officers in London, England wore. This badge was and is one of the most visible and recognizable symbols in the world. Wear it with pride and honor those who came before you. And finally, one last, always remember. Always remember that regardless of all else, your most important job is to go home at the end of your shift, to hug your loved ones, and to allow them to walk with you through the worst of times. Do the same for them, as your family often pays an equally high price for what they do, what they hear, what they see. It's you who have been selected as the protectors of the public safety, but you're not invincible. Let other people help you along this journey. You've been called upon to draw the lines between those who seek to do harm to innocent people and the lawlessness that sometimes becomes the society that surrounds us. It's you who allow the rest of us to sleep at night peacefully, and I thank you. The thin blue line to which you now belong is what prevents our society from crossing over that threshold into anarchy and chaos. You could never be sufficiently compensated for the heroic deeds that will be asked and demanded of you, but all that you will deliver in this endeavor is priceless. Be proud of the path you've chosen, the extraordinary works that you will now carry out, and the unmatched service and sacrifices that will match your many years of service. There's a poem written by Walt Whitman that resonates with me. The poem is titled, "Oh Me, Oh Life." And in it, Whitman talks about life being a huge play production that's going on all around us. He laments that many people just go through the motions and let life happen. There's one line in the poem that stands out. The powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? The fact is, you're in a unique position to contribute every single day. Every small contribution you make, every time you help someone in need or take a dangerous suspect off the streets, you're contributing to your verse. In closing, I wish you all well in your future endeavors. Look sharp, be sharp, and set the standard. Stay resilient and stay motivated. I hope you all have long, safe, and storied careers, and I will say without reservation and without hesitation that you'll find this vocation is the hardest job you will love. Thank you, and Godspeed, Class 124. This time we have a presentation from the chief to our guest speaker, Mr. Cedar.
Thank you very much.
So at the end of each Recruit Academy class, the class selects a guest speaker to speak for them. Officer Donnelly.
Thank you, Captain Gordon. Good morning. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge General Manager Randy Clark, Police Chief Anzalo, guest speaker Mr. Cedar, Assistant Chief Nader, Deputy Chiefs Bohm and Alvarez, Director Luis, distinguished guests, family, and friends of Class 124. Though still a relatively young department, Metro Transit Police have not been spared the fate of losing officers in the line of duty. Please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Metro Transit Police Department officers Harry Davis Jr. and Officer Marlon Morales and the 25 officers killed in the line of duty this year. Thank you. It is an honor and a distinct privilege to stand before all of you today and speak on behalf of Class 124. It has been an incredible, challenging 8 months, 6 days, 3 hours, and 51 minutes to be here at the finish line together. 18 men and women from places as far as Jamaica, Afghanistan, and Colombia to California, New Jersey, New York, Michigan, Maryland, Virginia, and right in our backyard in the District of Columbia. Though we all started a different day prior to beginning training, we united in pursuit of a singular goal: become sworn police officers of the Metro Transit Police Department. With different backgrounds, personalities, and capabilities came different challenges, but with our common goal, we weathered every storm together. From Officer Cedar telling people, somebody's on the block doing the 10,000 burpee challenge right now. You want to rest? During PT, to Officer Shivers telling Officer Spence to put those 40s to work. Those are biceps if you don't know. All of us can remember our first test though, during our fun times on the beach when we were doing drill week. One of the challenges unique to the profession of policing is uncertainty. And Sergeant Roseman was happy to simulate these conditions with our notebooks as she scattered them among the heavens. We learned all about how to fix our teeth when standing at the position of attention and how to bear crawl on one leg. Perseverance through those tumultuous times taught us to rely on one another, both personally and professionally. It motivated us to better ourselves and not let each other down. Following our pre-academy training, we made the trek to Northern Virginia Criminal Justice Training Academy in Ashburn, Virginia. For many of us here, that commute was a journey in and of itself. Usually around 2+ hours round trip to be present, put together, and professional at 0600 hours until 1630 hours. That's 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We were mixed with over 10 other agencies from across Northern Virginia, and the expectation laid out for us from our training representatives was that we would lead the charge amongst everyone else. Though the standard was high, we were ready for the challenge as we persevered through hours of classroom legal instruction, defensive tactics, emergency vehicle operations, firearms instruction, physical fitness training, and patrol tactics. We learned that oil derived from peppers, when sprayed in the eyes, is painful. We brought home a record and a few awards, per the orders of Sergeant Belton. After 5.5 months of 10.5-hour days of training, countless incentivized trainings to correct adverse behavior, and hours being joned on by other agencies who were days away from hitting the streets, we had more training to smash through. Our first task, to have 20,000 volts of electricity delivered via barbed prongs through our entire body for 5 seconds. The DC and Maryland phases of training, though, gave us the opportunity to be better trained, fit, and equipped to handle the challenges of policing across 3 close but very different jurisdictions. We learned that what's called tampering with an auto in Virginia is called rogue and vagabond in Maryland. We poured through hours of documents, learning that every county, district, and city we'll be in has a different way of doing things. Most importantly, we learned what our limits were and how to push them to be better people, friends, and officers. On behalf of Class 124, we would like to extend our thanks to our training instructors who were here before us every day and stayed after we left, facilitating and guiding our progress. Thank you for pushing us towards success, giving us your time and attention, and keeping every day exciting. Thank you, Chief Anzalo and the entire command staff for this rewarding opportunity to pursue our dream careers. To all family and friends, thank you for your unconditional love and support, for understanding when the job requires so much of our attention, for supporting us through our ups and downs. We love you. Finally, to the rest of my fellow about-to-be officers, I'm going to miss seeing all of you every day. Laughing, swapping stories, working out together, just hoping somebody didn't forget to iron their shirt or shine their boots. Today, we get to celebrate what our peers in Northern Virginia got to celebrate December 19th. But today is also the day the scene gets hot. Everything from today for the next 25 years is live. No tapping out or calling red light when it gets too tough. Time to put in the work we've been training and preparing all this time to do. As early as Sunday, one of us will begin their field training portion, with the rest of the follow throughout the week. Field training will bring new challenges to overcome. One day we may issue a summons, we may take away someone's liberty, or respond to a medical emergency where someone's life depends on our speed and action. I challenge myself and all of my classmates to never forget and always revert back to our training, stay in the fight, stay clean, stay fit, and go home at the end of every tour of duty. Keep your integrity rock solid and your honor clean. And if you feel close to giving up, to giving in when it gets too hard, remember everyone here that's done everything to help you prevail. Remember everyone depending on you to make it home. Veritas Equitas. Thank you everyone who undertook this journey with me. Here marks day 1 of service. Class, attention.
Officer Donnelly, thank you for the speech. And just so that everybody's clear, that drill week that he's talking about, I'm glad to know that you guys enjoyed it so much. So we're going to make sure we continue that with everybody else so they get the taste, what you guys had and everything, make sure everyone's prepared. Before calling up the chief to administer the oath of office, I would like to acknowledge the command staff. Please stand up, guys. I appreciate you guys being here today. Take a bow. You guys can sit back down. Appreciate it. Also, the members of the Metro Transit Police Training Division, our Background Investigations Unit, WMATA's Office of Human Resources, and all the instructors who've played a part in getting this class to where they are today. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you. Class 124, attention. Now we will have the oath of office. Prior to Class 124 taking the law enforcement oath of office, it is important that they understand what this oath means. An oath is a solemn pledge an individual will make when they sincerely intend to do what is said. The oath is a powerful vehicle demonstrating high ethical standards through long-standing traditions and commitment. The oath is administered to every Metro Transit police officer. Chief, will you please administer the oath?
Brian Castro.
Aaron Hart.
Christopher Gaitan.
Cody Dool. Chizoba Equim.
Keith Chivers.
Andrew Pulowski.
Alexander Donnelly.
Good Joe Tandy.
Do hereby swear or affirm
Do hereby swear or affirm.
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
Defend the Constitution of the United States.
I will discharge my responsibilities as a police officer
And will discharge my responsibilities as a police officer
of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority
of the Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority.
with dispatch, total dedication,
With dispatch, total dedication,
integrity, and impartiality,
integrity, and impartiality.
and will faithfully perform the duties of that office.
And will faithfully perform the duties of that office.
I will obtain all evidence lawfully
Will obtain all evidence lawfully.
and will work diligently to determine
And will work diligently to determine
the facts without fear or favor.
the fact without fear or favor.
I will accurately report my findings,
I will accurately report my findings,
regardless of whether they establish
regardless of whether they establish
the guilt or innocence of an individual.
the guilt or innocence of an individual.
I will obey as well as enforce the law
I will obey as well as enforce the law
where it is incumbent upon me to do so.
where it is incumbent upon me to do so.
I will abide by the rules and regulations
I will abide by the rules and regulations
of the Transit Authority,
of the Transit Authority,
and I will obey my superiors
and I will obey my superiors
in all lawful matters of duty performance.
in all lawful matters of duty performance.
I accept the police credential and shield
I accept the police credential and shield
being representative
as being representative
of the special trust placed in me
as a Metro Transit police officer.
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate that. Class 124, be seated. So prior to this graduation, I know you guys have heard a little bit of this, but I'm still going through my spiel, okay? So prior to this graduation, Class 124 attended and graduated from the Northern Virginia Criminal Justice Training Academy. The regional academy lasted 20 weeks and was comprised of recruit officers from various police agencies in Northern Virginia. That graduation was the final phase of training for their regional counterparts, and although this was a proud moment for Class 124, unlike their counterparts, their training was not done. Class 124 had to successfully complete an additional 18 weeks of training at the Metro Transit Police Academy. In total, Class 124 completed 38 weeks of law enforcement training. This demonstrated the determination, dedication, and desire possessed by the class to become Metro Transit police officers. So, round of applause for you guys. So at this time, we will have the class awards for the class. So when your name is called, please come forward. They have no idea who's won these awards, by the way, so everybody thinks it's them. So Assistant Chief George Nader will present the first award. This award, named in honor of our first Chief of Police, salutes the officer achieving the highest average academic score in the class. The Angus B. McLean Honor Graduate for Class 124 is Officer Brandon Cedar. Hold up, AJ. Dad, come on. You got to get up there. And that wasn't a setup. He actually won the award. It was tight. I want you guys to know it was a really close race. Deputy Chief Stephen Bone will present the second award. This award, named in honor of our second Chief of Police, acknowledges the officer with the highest overall physical fitness score. The Burton E. Morrow Physical Fitness Proficiency Award for Class 124 is awarded to Officer Cody Dool. Deputy Chief Daniel, go ahead, give it up for him. Applause. Deputy Chief Daniel Alvarez will present the third award. This award is named in honor of our first Assistant Chief of Police and acknowledges the officer with the highest overall firearm score. The Denny W. Stewart Firearm Proficiency Award for Class 124 is awarded to Officer Andrew Pulowski. The fourth and final award is the Harry Davis Jr. Marlon Francisco Morales Award for Leadership. This award is in memory of the two Metro Transit police officers who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. The Leadership Award is presented to an officer from each graduating class chosen by their peers as the individual who demonstrates the qualities of sound leadership and commitment to duty. The recipient of the Harry, we will have Chief and Mr. Clark present this award. And the recipient of the Harry Davis Jr. Marlon Francisco Morales Leadership Award for Class 124 is Officer Nicholas Babb. Great job. So now what they really want, they're tri-jurisdictional certificates. Class 124, attention. Each officer is asked to come forward as your name is called. Friends and family members, this is your time to heap that love on them. Come on up and get a photo, with your family and everything, okay? So, you ready, Chief? Officer Luz Esperanza Cruz. Officer Cruz, you want to get the baby? Officer Zamzama Omaroso. Zamzama. Officer Nicholas Babb. That's right. You better get you another. There you go. Officer Derek Anderson. Officer Brandon Cedar. Officer Julian Davis. Yeah. That's right, come on. I'd like to call up Prince George's County firefighter, Mr. Indy Marino, to help introduce Officer Christian Guyton. I said Christopher. I said Christopher. Officer Guyton. Officer Guyton. Did I say your name correctly? Christopher Gayton. What did I say? What did y'all hear? I said Christian? No. In my head, I said it the other way. Sorry about that. Officer Aaron Hart. Officer Brian Castro. Officer Abby Duet. Officer Rayshawn Spence.
Big day.
Oh, this looks like the largest group so far. Officer Cody Brown. No. Somebody, come on, y'all. I'd like to call up Mr. Cal Dewell, brother of Officer Cody Dewell, Yellowstone Park National Park Ranger, right, sir?
Yes, sir.
I know I screwed that all up, didn't I? I kind of got close. Officer Cody Dewell.
Give them the right to fall.
Officer Shizoba Ekwin.
Everyone. Good day.
Officer Keith Shivers. Officer Andrew Pulowski.
Everyone, how you doing?
I'd like to call up retired Army Colonel Michael Donnelly. He'll be presenting to his son, Officer Alexander Donnelly. Officer Gurdingunjat Tandy. Also, I'd like to call up his cousin Jaspreet Tandy as well, another Metro Transit police officer, so he's been helping us out with our recruiting. So we appreciate that. All right, so I have a question for the family while you guys are coming up. How close did I get to getting his name right? Was I somewhere there, kind of close? What? I wasn't close. I've been practicing all week on that. So, this brings us to the end of our ceremony. Class 124, remember your training and remember your oath. Use them to guide you on a successful, safe, meaningful career in service to our community. Class 124, welcome to the department. On behalf of Chief Michael Anzalo, I want to extend a special thank you to the family and friends that have joined us live here today and those that have joined us streaming as we welcome these new members to the force. Congratulations to you all. At this time, we're going to have the honor guard come in. They're going to take down the flags and everything. So please get together while we get the honor guard. Are they ready? Okay.
Ready? Ready? Arm. Ready? Stop. Freeze it. Arms. Order. Arms. Ready? Cut. Counter column. March.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Please, another round of applause for the group, and thank you.